camp?
It was good. You know, I'm not gonna say it's great. That's what everybody says. It was good. I was prepared the best that I can for this fight, and I can't wait for Saturday.
Do you feel it's the biggest fight of your career, probably?
Probably, yeah. You know, I don't care about biggest fight. I haven't reached it yet because I haven't retired. You know what I'm saying? So no fight's gonna be the biggest fight of my career. Every one of them's a big fight. So they all got me here. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't really matter until I retire.
What do you think about Kampmann? He seems he's at his most dangerous when he's about to get put away.
Yeah, man, he's a good fighter. You know what I'm saying? But everybody's beatable. You know what I'm saying? Even me. I just believe I'm gonna believe in my heart and my soul that I'm gonna get the win Saturday, and that's pretty much all I can do. You know what I'm saying?
Johnny, you beat two of the welterweight icons in your last two fights, and you beat Fitch in a dramatic fashion. But was a Koscheck fight any more good for you just because you proved it that a 12-second fight was not a fluke? You went out over 3 rounds and beat Koscheck. Did that mean more to you?
Yes, it definitely did, because, you know, I know I hit hard, and I try not to hit that hard. It's just for some reason I really wanted to hit him hard. I don't want to finish the fight in the first round, you know. Second, third, I'll be looking for it, but first round, I always like to have fun, you know what I mean? I train so hard that if it ends in the first round, it seems like I'm cheating myself, you know what I mean? So I like the 3-round grinds, and you know, with Josh Koscheck, he's a tough fighter. I knew it was going to be, and man, I'm just excited that I came out with a W.
If you had the opportunity to finish Martin in the first, you have to go for it, don't you? Given the
yeah. You know, I knew Koscheck. The reason why I didn't go as hard with Josh is because, let's be honest, if you get hit with that right hand, it could be lights out. You know what I mean? And so Kampmann, I don't have to worry about that as much. You know what I'm saying? I have to worry about more technical striking and the punch that you don't see. Where Josh, you can see the punch, and it can still lay you out, you know? So that's one reason why I didn't go on the kill mode a couple of times, is because that right hand is scary.
The winner of this fight could have the next title shot. Have you heard anything about that? Do you think that's the way it's going to go?
I hope. You know what I mean? I hope. But if it doesn't, guess what? It's not my control. You know what I'm saying? I can't control that. The only thing I can control is a good win and then what I do after that. So that's all that matters.
And what do you think about the main event? What's your take on who might take that fight?
Man, it's tough. Condit, I think he's awesome on the feet. He's got a good closed guard. But let's be honest, how often does GSP stay in the closed guard? You know what I'm saying? And we know GSP is going to get him down sooner or later. If he does, how does he pass his guard and all those kind of things? And also, is his knee good enough that he can drive that hard off of it? We just don't know yet, and I can't wait to see it Saturday night, just like everybody else.
This division was put on hold for basically a year because of George's injury. With all the talk about George and Anderson, I mean, is it disappointing that you may not get the title shot because they're talking about this super fight if George wins?
Yeah, you know, it does suck, but guess what? Like I said, I can't control that, you know what I mean? All I can control is my win, and then what I do after that. You know, if I win, sit back and say, hey, let them fight, and I'll be the first one that congratulates you back in 170. You know what I mean? That's my mindset, is that if it's not in my control, there's nothing to worry about.
How badly would you like to fight GSP, a guy
the
best since 10 years maybe?
Yeah, he is a very tough fighter, and I would love nothing more to fight GSP. You know, that's who I've been training to fight for since I started, because he almost held the belt since I've been here. So, you know, I've only been training for 5.5 years, and to see him and know that I'm one fight away possibly to get to fight him, I'm stoked.
So when you heard that Silva was...
Huh?
Would you rather fight GSP or Condit?
Who has the belt?
Who's the better fight for you, though? Who's you want?
I don't care. I just want that belt, you know what I mean? I don't care who it is, where they have it, what time. I just want a shot at that belt, you know? If GSP has it, awesome. If Condit has it, awesome. You know, I think they're both great fighters, and I just want a shot at it. I want a chance to bring it home, you know what I'm saying?
You said something about Kampmann once you got good, he didn't want to train with you anymore. Can you explain what you meant by that?
I meant that once I got to a certain level, none of the guys trained with me at Extreme Couture. I sort of got bumped to the back, you know what I mean? Because they thought that I was going to have to fight them one day. You know what I mean? And I'm a wrestler at heart. So if me and you train every day and you want to say, hey, we're going to fight, guess what? We're going to fight. You know what I mean? That's just my nature. So it didn't bother me at all. And I understand why it bothered them. You know, I wrestle with guys every day that I'd have to compete against every weekend, you know what I mean? And that didn't bother me at all. So Same thing with fighting. It doesn't bother me. May the better man win that night, and whoever wins gets to buy the drinks.
Getting beaten on by him for the early days of your career, how much does that help you now? Because you went through that, and you know what it's like, and now you know that I got through it no problem.
Man, that was a learning curve. I got beat on by everybody. I don't remember which one beat me worse. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a learning curve. He got his good shots in, but then at the end, toward the end, I started getting mine. And that's what's the most fun part about it, is that I started developing, and once I started getting a little taste of that development, that's whenever they were like, hey, we might really have to fight you one day. We got to sort of start separating our tides.
How do you rate Martin's wrestling? Because a lot of people are wondering how this might play out in this fight. He historically has pretty good takedowns and takedown defense.
Well, I taught him how to wrestle. I showed him how to wrestle when I first got there. So it's decent. Now, is it great? No. Is it on Josh Koscheck's level? No. So those are the guys that I've had to prepare for. John Fitch, is he on his level? No. So I'm not so much worried about his takedowns. Do I know they're going to be there? Yes. I think that he's going to try to take a shot to throw me off. So, yes, I am worried about him, but I'm not worried about him, if that makes sense.
There's kind of an aura surrounding GSP. Why in the fighting community people tend to see him more like an idol than an opponent?
I don't see him as an idol.
No?
He's an opponent. He's a person. He puts on his pants on one leg at a time just like I do. You know what I'm saying? He's a fighter just like me. So I don't... He's a good fighter. You know what I mean? He's done amazing things, but is he an idol? No. You know what I mean? He's just another human in my book, and that's what I see myself as too. You know what I mean? I'm not this big time anybody. You know what I mean? I'm just another person that likes to do a different job than most other people, and enjoy it. I have to say that.
What job would you be doing if you weren't doing this?
Oh, I'd probably coach in college. Sitting in the background, chilling, relaxing. Being a little fatter.
When you worked with Martin, he was already well established in his career, but you worked. How much of an advantage does that give you? Because he trained with you, but he didn't train with the Johny Hendricks he's about to fight.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. So to say that he knows how I train and how I'm going to fight and how I prepare, my camp sucked back then. You know what I mean? Compared to my camps now. And the fighter that I was back then, if I had to fight that guy 3 years ago, I would throttle him. You know what I mean? I'd have throttled him after the first year being in Texas. So, that's just how much leaps and bounds I've improved. So I'm excited to see what I got out there in the octagon and see how much I have improved. You know what I mean? I get to gauge it. And how many people get to gauge it?
You started off as a wrestler, but you have such heavy hands. Did you find that out pretty early when you were striking, that you hit hard?
No. I just knew that I was a wrestler, and people that are wrestlers, I've seen fighting for a long time now, they tend to try to keep it on the feet more, right? So they don't want to get taken down. So I was like, hey, I got to get my hands to where I can threaten people. And the next thing I know, I started knocking people out. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, hey, this is a lot more fun. The crowd likes it, yada, yada, yada. So I sort of put wrestling on the background, started focusing a lot on my hands. And this last camp, that Josh Koscheck fight really told me that I need to work on my ground game. Or not even work on it, believe in it. And I started training with Marcelo Garcia. And I don't know if y'all know who he is, world-renowned jiu-jitsu. One of the best in the world. And I started working with him, and we brought in some guys to help tweak my jiu-jitsu out a little bit, and now my jiu-jitsu, I feel more confident in my jiu-jitsu than my hands, if that's possible.
And how much weight do you cut to get to 160?
I started 215 to 220, and I cut down. Right now I'm 10 over, and I feel awesome. So Dolce diet.
Fiber, that's probably the beard.
I wish. I would have already shaved it.
When you and Martin worked together, were you guys particularly close, or is it just another training partner for you, one of many?
Close and also good, close but yet separate. You know what I mean? We did some stuff, but we didn't do everything. You know what I mean? Just because of out in Vegas, I was a house rat. You know what I mean? I didn't go out. I didn't do anything. I trained and I went home. You know what I mean? Because I had to. I had to train 6-7 hours a day because I sucked. You know what I mean? So I trained as hard as I could, and I'd go home and relax. So I didn't have that much of an out life until I moved to Texas. And once I moved to Texas, I started developing how to train smarter and develop quicker. So, you know, we were close, but not like best buds.
Martin was more of a party animal, and he was kind of
No, he wasn't. No. He wasn't a party animal, but, you know, if we did stuff together, we would try to go out, you know. We would try to do stuff as a team. But I didn't really do that much with the team because whenever they'd have team outings, I didn't do it because most of the time I was too tired, you know what I mean? I just wanted to sit in my house and watch TV and go to bed just from training, you know.
How long were you out in Las Vegas?
3.5 years. Oh, my gosh. And I'm so glad to be in Texas.
What was kind of the sign that it was time to move on?
I had kids. I had a little baby girl, and I started. The people. It's not a southern hospitality, you know. And I love knowing my neighbors. I love that I can let my daughter out, and I can let her to my neighbor's house, and they can play, and I don't have to worry about it at all. Vegas, you can't do that. It took me 3 years to meet one of my neighbors. One neighbor I tried to meet, she slammed the door in my face. You know what I'm saying? They're just not very nice. They're more homebodies. And in Texas, they're more that southern hospitality. You know, you open the door for somebody, they say thank you. Try that in Vegas. You'll have 10 people walk in, and then you might have one person like go, thank you. Or they'll all look at you weird. Why are you holding the door for me? You know what I'm saying? And that's what I want my kids to know is, you know, be nice, be hospitable to people. You know, treat other people the way you want to be treated. And that's the way that I want to live my life.
Last couple questions. Two more.
You're one of the two guys, you and Martin are the two guys that have probably been most affected by Carlos' decision to wait for GSP. What do you think about interim title holders defending the belt? Do you think they should be required to defend their belts when they get it?
Well, if GSP couldn't come back for this fight, then of course I'd say he had to defend it. You know what I mean? But then again, I see where he's coming from. You know, who's to say I wouldn't do the same thing? You know, if I knew that, hey, in 6 months, I knew I'd be fighting him, or whenever he fought, it would have been, what, 9 months since he fought? So, you know, you're 3 months out of a fight, and you might find out that he can fight in November. That's not that long, you know what I mean, to wait for a title shot. So I don't condemn him for that. You know what I mean? I couldn't say that I wouldn't do the same. But if GSP couldn't come back and then he still waited, then that's whenever it'd be a bigger ordeal. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, last question.
Johnny, you mentioned obviously Martin's got a really technical striking, but it seems that, you know, he does sort of get hit with some pretty big shots that puts him on the rope. So obviously he's durable, he can come back. But I mean, what do you kind of make of the fact that he does sort of get caught in those positions?
Well, people are durable until they get hit, and not, you know, for example, John Fitch, he was durable against GSP. He ate a lot of heavy shots, right? All it took me is one, you know. So if he's that durable, we'll really see, you know. And I you know, this is like the John Fitch fight. Everybody's like, oh, he's so durable. Oh, he's gonna do this. Oh, he's gonna do that. Dude, I don't care. Let me hit him one time. I can't wait to put my left hand right on his chin, and let's see where it goes from there. You know what I'm saying? All I want to do is hit him one time, and if he handles it, awesome, we're fighting. If he doesn't, guess what? It's over. You know what I mean? That's my mind frame right now, is that I just want to hit him as hard as I can one time, and see what happens. You know, and that's the way I was with the John Fitch fight. I was like, man, I was tired of people saying he's a grinder, he's this. Why are you even fighting him? You know what I mean? Da. Well, guess what? I just want to hit him one time as hard as I can, and see where the fight goes.